hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Wednesday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico with you as usual. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
As always, 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. All places for you guys to get in touch with the show. Plenty of stuff to discuss today. As always, you can follow us on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it, Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. We got 2 hours with you guys today, so appreciate you guys hanging on. Once again, we invite you to join the conversation on the Starter Heyman text line or on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Just to preview what we got coming up on the show today, plenty of college football discussion as well as college basketball talk, because Nebraska men's basketball obviously hosts Indiana later this evening, 8 p.m. tip-off. We talked about how valuable the 8 p.m. tip-off can be for fan bases, for energy in an arena, right? Not that I think Nebraska is lacking in any of those departments, but nonetheless, when you have a 10-3 team going up against an 11-2 Oregon program, in this case, Nebraska, how about that? The 11-2 program. We don't get to talk about that very often, but in this case, there's not a lack of energy, I think, going to be in that arena tonight, which makes it extremely exciting for maybe what the atmosphere is like this afternoon or this evening, I should say. I remember at the Creighton game, obviously that was a pretty intense game. It was the drama leading up to tip off was pretty intense, and walking around the floor, it wasn't that there was a lack of energy. It felt like the fan base was bringing the most juice. And throughout the start of the game, Nebraska kind of came out lackadaisical, if you will. Obviously, they got, put in rotation way too much against the Blue Jays, and Baylor Shireman made him pay. Nebraska also, on top of that, went 2 of 22 from beyond the three-point line, which is certainly not a recipe for success at any level of basketball. So tonight, here they are. They responded after that Creighton game and after the Minnesota game with a nice performance against Michigan State. So now here's another test. And I think when in this situation that Nebraska basketball is in, 11-2, 1-1 in the conference, with some expectations that to this point they've lived up to for the most part, here's another test. You look at this as another opportunity to show, yeah, we're one of the more experienced teams in the Big Ten. They're one of the teams with the most length in the Big Ten as well. This is another opportunity to show that, hey, we're not a bottom feeder like maybe we have been in years past. We have experience. We have guys that can make plays with or without Rink Mass as who is the game time decision. I think this is a big opportunity for Nebraska.
This is a massive opportunity for Nebraska in order to show that their record isn't a fluke, isn't just a product of playing a cupcake non-conference schedule, and that they're actually a team that should be, I'm not going to say feared, but respected in the Big Ten Conference, a team that you actually have to sit up in your seat for, not that you can sit back and just kind of roll over Nebraska this year. And like you said, if Rink Mass is able to play, that offers a huge boost in terms of scoring, in terms of rebounding, in terms of playmaking, with his ability to sit at the free throw line in the fingernail, as Nick calls it, and dish the rock from time to time. So even without him, this is a time for Nebraska to show that they are a team that can play physical, that can play defense, that can score the rock when it needs to, and can do it against other teams that, again, I don't know how good this Indiana team really is, but their only 3 losses are to 3 ranked teams. So if that tells you anything, it shows that they're a pretty solid team until it comes to, I guess teams that are better than them. But Nebraska in this matchup, again, you're extremely excited for it to be at home, for it to be an 8 p.m. tip in ways that you can have a more lively crowd than if it were, a noon tip or something along those lines. Maybe like even 6 o'clock when people are getting off work and, heading in there or have to go home, and maybe a late arriving crowd. This game being at home, being the not first because they played 2 conference games, but the first in the extended conference play, really benefits Nebraska because you're getting an Indiana team that, like I said, we're not sure exactly how good this Indiana team is, but you have the name recognition, you have the jerseys, the logo, all of that to go along with it. And, they only have 3 losses on the season. Even if they're not ranked, this is still a solid enough team where this game, if Nebraska is to win, could go a long way in instilling confidence in this team after, drilling a South Carolina State.
This is an interesting Indiana team for a couple of reasons. One, just some notes on Nebraska. They're currently rated 53rd in KenPom, which is basically close to an RPI ranking. 53rd in KenPom. When you look at ESPN's tournament projections, if you will, they are actually the last team in. So right on the bubble. And that's how it's going to be. Austin's talked about it. I've discussed it. And they've talked about it on the post-game show, which, by the way, you can tune into right after the conclusion of tonight's game. It's going to be a late night for Austin and Bach. But I think when you look at Nebraska, like, this is going to be a game-by-game type of thing. If Nebraska wins tonight, great. It's going to help their KenPom. It's going to help the RPI. It's going to help their tournament projection. But if they lose on the flip side, number one, a lot of losses in the Big Ten in terms of quad 1, quad 2 discussions aren't bad losses. We see it with Michigan State, right? Michigan State, but then I guess on the other side, if a win can be a very, very good win, right? Yes. Where Michigan State in this case was Nebraska beats them at home. They're able to bounce back after a loss against Nebraska and completely blow the doors off of a number 6 rated Baylor Bears team. And so it's going to be a game by game type of discussion. I think we're going to get infatuated. We're going to get swallowed up, I think, by Nebraska's pick to make the Big Ten tournament. Nebraska's in a spot in the Big Ten standings where they should be pretty proud of themselves and pretty comfortable. I think we have to also understand that, all right, if they drop 2 or 3 in a row, it's not necessarily at the end of the world because of what they were able to do in the non-con, what they were able to do maybe against a Michigan State and on the road at Kansas State, and maybe squeak out a couple really nice wins against some Big Ten opponents. Indiana, as Rico said, I think this is a pretty good basketball team. Teams that they lost by just 3 to a top 5 Kansas Jayhawks team at home. They lost by less than 5 there. They don't have a Trace Jackson Davis this year, who's currently playing in the NBA. They don't have a Yogi Ferrell running the point. They don't have Victor Oladipo. It's not that type of. I believe Christian Watford was one of the Indiana Hoosiers. I believe he's the one that hit the buzzer beater against Anthony Davis and the Kentucky Wildcats back a long time ago, it feels like. But nonetheless, like, Nebraska has lost 7 in a row to the Indiana Hoosiers. And a big reason why has been Trace Jackson Davis. Now it's going to be Malik Renew, who's the leading scorer for Indiana, averaging, I think, 16.5 per game. They have a big guy, Ware, I believe is his last name, who averages about 15 a game and 9 rebounds, which then begs the question and curiosity of whether or not Rink Mass is going to be able to go. Rink Mass has been, he's right on that double-double per game average mark. And we saw not only in I believe it was the game after Kansas State, which would have been North Dakota, we saw how badly Nebraska needed him on the boards, especially in that first half. Nebraska answered the call. They came out well in the second half and ended up winning the game by, I think, 7 or 8 points against North Dakota. But we saw maybe what Nebraska was missing in Rink Mass. And it's a guy that he distributes the ball pretty well. He's been probably Nebraska's most valuable transfer up until this point. But he's also a scoring. There's also a scoring threat with Rink Mass.
Yeah.
And so, like, Josiah Alec, I think Nebraska's going to need more from him in the Big Ten Conference slate. We saw Matar get some quality playing time against South Carolina State. But with a Blaze Cada where nobody really knows the situation or truly what the update is, and with Rink Mass being a game time decision tonight, you're going to need guys like Josiah Alec. You're going to need the rebounding presence of Jawan Gary. Those guys to step up even more than usual.
You're going to need the guys to play bigger than they usually do, and this you hope it's not like the Nebraska of the past where they're giving up rebound after offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Like you mentioned, Josiah Alec, with the energy that he brings, with the athleticism and the height that he has, he is going to play a big role in Nebraska, playing on those boards. Even if he's not grabbing the boards, his size is going to go a long way in boxing out, or a la Derek Walker last year or years past, where he might not grab all of the boards, but he's keeping the opposing big away from getting the boards. And that's where a Jawan Gary comes into play and is able to grab those boards, where a Matar comes in and is able to get those boards before they hit the ground or even after a single bounce. So Nebraska, that first half struggles in rebounding against North Dakota. If you do that now that you're entering Big Ten play, that's going to be hard to come back from against teams that have bigs who are bigger than the guys that you're probably playing. With a Rink Mass, it helps a lot more. He's the straw that stirs the drink. Although you think about that more with point guards, running the show, his scoring ability, his rebounding ability, and just his presence on the floor, and the fact that he's there and you can kind of get it to him in a situation where you need a shot to go up or you need somebody to, make a play, and he's able to do that. If he's not on the floor, that more than likely falls on a Jawan Gary. When we were talking earlier in the season about this team having so many options and having so many people who they can trust to do things, Rink Mass and Jawan Gary have kind of asserted themselves as probably the two leaders on this team. So if you're down Rink Mass, Jawan Gary is going to need to take that next step up, which he has been doing in these games that Rink Mass hasn't been playing.
Yeah, it feels like tonight's kind of a game in my eyes that you don't need 6 guys in double figures like maybe you had against North Dakota, but this is one of those where Mike Woodson, a defensively fundamentally sound type of team, is going to force multiple guys to kind of be on their P's and Q's tonight for Nebraska. This is a game where the turnovers have to be low. You can't have any guys in foul trouble. What I'm saying is it needs to be a typical Big Ten basketball game where you can't let little things continue to hurt you. It's the turnovers, it's the fouls, it's the discipline defensively.
Don't beat yourself.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's an easy way to put it. Like, you're gonna need Jamarcus Lawrence, I think, to kind of be the point guard. Jamarcus Lawrence has started to try to get into his own, right? You're going to need Jawan Gary to have the 10 to 15 games. This also feels like a potential Casey game. Like, we haven't seen Casey in what we're accustomed to seeing from previous years, not to mention his family's in town. And so, like, this is where Casey proves that he's a Big Ten first team all selection. Now, it's been more difficult for Casey because a lot more teams know him. A lot more teams are aware of who Casey Tominaga is. And believe it or not, at the start of last season, he wasn't on watch lists. He wasn't on Big Ten all first, second, third team, whatever it is that you want to call it. Well, now people know him. People know how to game plan for him, which makes it more difficult. Then in turn, guys around him need to step up and facilitate and find ways to score points. Nebraska currently, believe it or not, a 5-point favorite in this game against the Hoosiers.
That is surprising.
But the Hoosiers 10-3. I would expect that the folks in Vegas, are expecting PBA to play a pretty big part into this. Nebraska, this starts a big stretch, as we've discussed multiple times. We'll continue talking about it. This starts a big stretch in the Indiana, then on the road at Wisconsin, who beat Iowa by, I believe, double digits last night. And then it's number 1 Purdue, who far and away looks like the best team in all of college basketball. You watch Purdue and Fletcher Lawyer, who destroyed Nebraska last year in Lincoln and in West Lafayette. He's on a tear in his second season with the Boilermakers. Obviously, you still have Zach Edey down there, and Purdue was able to beat Maryland last night by 20 points on the road. So, if Nebraska can continue to stay in this groove that they're in, that they ended the non-conference slate with, and maybe they can get a couple wins in the early stages of the Big Ten conference slate, hey, who knows what could happen next Tuesday against Purdue. But without looking too far ahead, take care of business tonight, control what you can control, and maybe this is a game where Casey goes off for 15, and you have Bryce Williams add 10, and you have Juwan Gary add 12, and it's an instance on CJ Wilcher also being that spark that he's been. Like CJ Wilcher, you can talk all the crap you want about CJ last year. He's really improved this year. He's really improved this year, and he's found a role. And Fred Hoiberg has allowed him to be in that role kind of off the bench. Mm-hmm. And CJ's done really good things for Nebraska so far, shooting at a high percentage as well.
It's the almost the polar opposite of last season, where he would be in and there would be a timely shot that could end a run or extend a lead or tie a game or something along those lines. And he gets a shot in the corner and he's missing him. He's hitting those timely shots now. He's the guy that I'm not going to say that they're going to, but he's being able to be in the game, play his role, and hit the shots that he needs to hit at those times that are very crucial. He's been able to do that. And in this game, like you mentioned earlier, I don't know if you're going to have 6 guys in double figures, but you're going to need this. Like you said, it feels like a breakout game. I don't know for who, but somebody is going. You're going to have one person who's leading the charge for Nebraska today or tonight. And I feel like that's how you're going to do it. And also that defense that they were playing earlier in the season that Fred Hoiberg loved up until the Creighton game, that's the type of defense you're going to need to play in this matchup.
Well, I will say, before the Creighton game, Fred Hoiberg did say they needed to get their defensive edge back, and they didn't against Creighton. Now, we haven't necessarily seen maybe the defensive performances that Nebraska's wanted or expected. Now, I just to kind of put the cap on this, back to my point of like, this isn't going to be a game, I think, where Nebraska is going to get, multiple guys in double figures. What I mean by that is like coming into tonight's game, you kind of have a better feeling about the possibility of Nebraska winning. And the reason for that is because you look at Nebraska's roster, and in previous years, it's so dramatically different because it's not just Bryce and Trey McGowan's. It's not just Derek Walker. It's not just Keisei Tominaga. And I'm speaking when I'm saying that it's not. That was the case like in separate years. Was that all right? We need Bryce to go out and score 30. We need Trey to add assists and try to be that aggressive defender. We need Casey to drop 25. That's not the case this year, and that's such a luxury to have for a Nebraska roster and program that just is continuing to try to stack wins game after game. So going into a matchup like tonight against Indiana, where they historically a defensive sound team. They've played really good opponents this year as well. You kind of think Nebraska has a better chance, and you feel better about Nebraska's possibility and chance to win when it's, okay, you know what? We don't need 25 from Casey. We need 15. 25 is great. 25 takes the pressure off of maybe a lot of other guys, but there's also that accountability piece where, okay, Bryce Williams, this is what I mean. Go drop 10. Go be a good defender. Jamarcus, give us 5 or 6 assists. Rink master Josiah Alec, add 8. I mean, I guess 8 is for Josiah Alec, right?
It's so
like figure out a way to just kind of be balanced. And Nebraska has done that for the most part. Now their strength of schedule ranks around 300th in the country. So that plays a factor into it. But like, look at this as an opportunity to continue showing not only the Husker fan base, not only the people that show up to PBA, but frankly, the entire country and RPI and Ken Palm and AP poll and all that,
whatever numbers,
show that you know what, yeah, we belong at least in the conversation. We belong on the doorstep of sitting down at the dinner table. So fun fact though, also Indiana Hoosiers, they have a guard on their roster is Xavier Johnson, who was previously committed to the Huskers back when Tim Miles was here. Xavier Johnson ended up committing. He was committed.
Didn't he go to Pitt?
I believe so. He did go to Pitt.
Like a year.
He went to Pitt, and then Kenya Hunter, the former Husker assistant, who is currently still on the Indiana staff, brought Xavier Johnson to Bloomington, and Xavier Johnson is in his final season with the Indiana Hoosiers, averaging 10.5 per game, with 3 rebounds and 3 assists per contest. Kenya Hunter, as we know, former Husker assistant, had a son that ended up going to Old Dominion. Jalen Hunter was a standout in Nebraska Prep's basketball scene, if you will. But Kenya been to, I believe he went, it wasn't Butler. There was somewhere that Kenya went immediately after Nebraska.
Yeah.
Then he went to Indiana. So just a couple of Nebraska connections making their way back to Lincoln here tonight. 8 p.m. tip-off, Big Ten Network. A lot of eyeballs, and if you're making your way down to PBA, make sure you be loud and excited for this 11-2 Huskers roster. Let's go ahead and we'll take a break. When we come back, we dive into college football as some notable names have entered the transfer portal, especially in the wide receiver market. Nebraska getting ready to host a couple of targets through the transfer portal this weekend in terms of a running back and a couple wideouts as well. And Will Howard is going to visit one more school this week. We'll talk all about that coming up next. It's the happy hour. Huge thanks to Empire Fence and Netting. You guys can chime into the show, 402-464-5685 all show long. We're here until 2 o'clock, leading you up to On the Block with Strick and Austin. So we'll go ahead and step aside. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Herbie the Fourth ate his first solid food today, prompting a response of nothing but steaks all week for the Nebraska offensive line.
Then Enrique Alvarez Clary.
No more peaches and carrots for Herbie the Seventh. Baby food be damned.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We talked about it yesterday on what in the world Cam Ward and the rest of some of the quarterbacks are doing. Will Howard in that discussion as well. And
none of us had any idea.
None of us had answers. DJ Uiagalelei made his decision known. It was Florida State, who he believed was the right fit after a couple years at Oregon State under Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith obviously goes to Michigan State as the head coach there.
You're a big DJ guy, right?
I like DJ Uiagalelei.
You gonna watch some Florida State next year?
Maybe. I have a tough time. I don't know what it is. I have a tough time watching Florida State. Enjoying watching.
That's
Florida State.
Weird. Why?
I'm not sure.
Like, I love their helmets.
Even the ACC, I struggled to like the ACC championship game, I should say. When it was Florida State and Louisville, I struggled to watch. I didn't have an answer why.
I love watching Louisville. I could watch Louisville football. I don't know why, but I'm a big fan of watching Louisville.
Because like even in the times when like Lamar Jackson was playing quarterback for Louisville, and you had that game it was Lamar against Florida State, and I'm blanking on the Florida State's quarterback name because it was post Jameis Winston.
I couldn't tell you.
And there was like he had such high praise around him, but nonetheless, then like Lamar completely outplayed him and basically won his Heisman his freshman year. Because of that game.
I love how his Heisman moment is hurdling a Syracuse corner.
Yeah.
I remember that game.
We're going to be able to.
Louisville just went off. And look, there's a post earlier that was took 4 Heisman winning quarterbacks, and it said their prime in college, and it was Lamar, Johnny Manziel, Cam Newton, and somebody else. And they were like, in their prime, who are you cutting out of this? And Johnny Manziel replied and said, I'll do everyone a favor and take myself out.
Yeah, that's right. I did see that. Now, okay, so going back through the list of Florida State quarterbacks, and I didn't realize this. This comes from Sports Illustrated. Somebody in 2020, obviously when Florida State kind of was struggling, said their Florida State's woeful quarterback recruiting in the 2010s. And it's a bunch of high-level guys that just didn't work out.
Really?
So Jake Coker ended up transferring to Alabama.
I remember
he was a guy out of 2011. Now, obviously, you had Jameis Winston.
That one worked out.
Won the national title, drafted number 1 overall in 2012, or in the 2012 class. They brought in a 5-star in 2012. Sean McGuire was a career backup at Florida State.
Okay.
In 2013, they brought in dual threat quarterback John Franklin III, transferred to East Mississippi Community College. He was on the Netflix special.
Oh, yeah.
Last Chance.
Yeah,
Last Chance You with EMCC.
Oh.
Transferred out of community college to Auburn, was there for 1 season, then transferred to Florida Atlantic. That's John Franklin. That's one career.
That's wow.
Then in 2014's class, they signed a 5-star quarterback, JJ Cosentino, was a backup.
You're going to say a lot of names, and I have no idea who they are.
During his Florida State career. There's 2 of them here. You'll know.
Okay.
This one is the one I was thinking about in that game against Lamar Jackson. DeAndre Francois.
Oh, Francois.
4-star pro-style quarterback DeAndre Francois was dismissed from the team, and now he was with Hampton. And the transfer to Hampton.
Was text line, remind me. I don't know if anybody else will remember. Was he the one whose mom or aunt was on the movie Friday? One of them is related to.
No way.
Yeah. I could be completely wrong, but I remember there's a quarterback that was playing college football and somebody mentioned it. And I saw it somewhere. Again, I could be completely wrong. Just let me know.
So then the other one was there was a 4-star quarterback, DeAndre Johnson, who was dismissed from the team the next year. Then Malik Henry, who went from Florida State to community college to Nevada to West Georgia.
Of course, as one does.
Then a 5-star quarterback, Bailey Hockman, who transferred to NC State.
Okay.
Then a 4-star quarterback, James Blackman.
I know James Blackman.
Yep.
I don't know him, but I know the name.
2020, 4-star dual threat quarterback, Chubba Purdy.
Yeah.
2020, 3-star quarterback, Tate Rodemaker. Who just transferred out. And how about this?
Never got a chance.
In 2021's class, Luke Altmaier verbally committed to Florida State.
Well, then.
And did not end up at Florida State.
As we know.
Illinois guy. Illinois or Ole Miss, then it was Illinois.
Yeah.
So just a really, really Jordan Travis is also in there though, but just a really, really bad 10 years of quarterback recruiting besides Jameis Winston, of course.
So it was a quarterback from the state of Florida, Miami's quarterback. His mom was Felicia.
Brad Kaya?
I don't think it was Brad. I don't know. They're just saying the one from Miami. Yeah, Brad Kaya.
Brad Kaya.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
How about that?
There you go.
Brad Kaya was a guy. We could go down this rabbit hole unintentionally of like 2010 college football quarterbacks
that we thought were going to be good and then weren't.
Yeah, kind of. Just also names that like Austin would be fun to have this conversation with. This goes back before 2010. Keith Price from Washington is one.
Okay.
Jared Crick ruined his career up in Seattle.
Unfortunately.
So Keith Price is one of those. Brad Kaya is one of those from Miami. I'm trying to think of other opponents that Nebraska played. I mean, like back when, who was the Ohio State quarterback that transitioned to a wide receiver? Braxton Miller.
Yep.
Braxton Miller was like good, really good for 2 years.
Yep.
And then they changed him to a wide receiver. And he's like, all right, I'm good at that too.
Do you remember Shoelace? Michigan?
Let's see. Michigan guys were Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson. Shoelace.
Denard Robinson was
good.
Because
his shoes were Velcro.
Yeah, Denard Robinson was good. Devin Gardner wasn't bad for Michigan for a while there.
He wasn't good.
He wore number 98 as well.
So that's weird.
There were multiple guys. Send us, let us know. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. Let us know.
I challenge
some
you guys.
of your guys' favorite quarterbacks. I mean, we can even go like 2000 to 2020.
Yeah. I challenge you guys to make us stop the show with a name where we just go, oh my gosh, I forgot that guy.
We'll read them.
Yeah,
we'll read them.
This is a challenge. Send in a quarterback from the 2000s, from 2000 up until now, that was good for a little bit, or everybody thought was going to be good and wasn't. And I challenge you to make us look at the name and go, oh my goodness.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because like there's going to be some good ones from, frankly, like Nebraska's opponents. Like some of the Big 12 days. Obviously, like you have Tyrod Taylor from Virginia Tech. You could also play it like the ones that were just really good that nobody talks about anymore. Like people forget how fun like RG3, even though I don't care for him as a broadcaster, like how good RG3 was at Baylor. And a big part of it was because he had a guy named Corey Coleman as his wide receiver.
Corey Coleman was good.
Corey Coleman then eventually got drafted to the Browns and just kind of flamed out.
Didn't do anything. Very
so.
RG3 was like
there's a lot
Olympic,
of them.
RG3 was like an Olympic caliber 400 hurdler.
It's also,
and he had the superhero socks with the capes on them. I had a pair. I had a pair that I wore in college. They were Batman socks.
It's also like good ones because it's these guys that also go to the NFL, and you don't remember necessarily watching them in college be as good as they are, and then they make this like jump to the NFL,
and you're like, oh my goodness,
where did this guy come from?
Yeah,
I love deep dives on former collegiate athletes. I love it. I also love playing the game where it's like, all right, what college did so and so go to?
That's always
from like 2005 to 2015 is right in my wheelhouse.
Back before everybody transferred.
Yeah, the transfer portal makes it tough because now you got to keep track of like 2 schools. So,
all right, they already hit me with one.
Let's go ahead and take a break. It's 12:45. It's
Josh Freeman.
Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll talk about this coming up next. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue this conversation. 402-464-5685. Send us a text, and we'll be right back on the happy hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog and freezing fog this morning. Then partly sunny skies will be expected for the afternoon. Afternoon high should be around 37. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies. We'll see a low around 21. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies will stick around. Afternoon high should be around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Letting your children know you believe in them will go a long way toward making their dreams a reality. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. It's important to celebrate learning, focus on the positives, reinforce good effort and determination. Children need your encouragement and support. Our public schools want every student to succeed.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
This is a house of learned doctors.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
As soon as your eyes shut, I'm going to punch you square in the face.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the happy hour, wrapping up the noon hour here. We'll be with you from 1 to 2 as well. In the 1 o'clock hour, though, at 1:30, we're going to be joined by our good friend Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska, the rival site for the Huskers, as Nebraska is getting ready to host a couple visitors this weekend. And he also covers Husker hoops for Rivals as well.
They
so
were
we'll
working
talk
on the video boards in Memorial Stadium this morning. I was
Is that
driving
right?
by. Yeah, they had some videos playing.
Interesting.
So either they're practicing, or maybe there's somebody there.
Maybe there is somebody there. Jamal Banks, Dante Dowdle.
A lot of names.
No, there's a couple other that are flying under the radar that
It
we'll
seems early.
talk to Steve about.
I was driving. It was like 8 something. Seems early.
I always do wonder. When we had Gibson on, we should have asked him like the official visit itinerary, because I'd be curious. Like, do they tell you to get there? Like, all right, you got to wake up at this time. This is when it starts. If 5-star doesn't wake up in time, are they just going to stop the whole visit?
Yeah. Is it like a strict itinerary, or is it like?
Yeah,
is it
I'm real
flexible?
curious. Real curious.
If you have multiple guys,
I know
right?
a lot of times they stay down the street. This is going to sound kind of scary. I was walking to the parking garage.
Yeah.
And Brandon Baker pulled up for his official visit back in September.
Yeah.
And I know they're at the Kindler.
I'm just saying, how strict are you on those? Because if you have multiple people, you have you have like 2 5-stars.
Like, there's got to be
some
dudes
4
that
stars, some 3
sleep past
stars.
the alarm.
Yeah, like do you start? Like if Brandon Baker doesn't show up, but you've got like 3 stars and 4 stars, and do you just go, or
You
do
have
you like
to.
call him and you're like, hey guys, we gotta wait because this guy's more important.
You gotta
than
go. You gotta
This guy's
go.
more important than you, and we care about him more than we do you. We still want you here.
Oh,
but-
how about this? Pecan Pie says the Jumbotron was up and running with the ribbon boards at 5:30 this morning. That's early.
they're practicing. They're working on something. They're testing videos or something.
There's
no recruit there at 5:30.
Have they started? They haven't started the expansion yet.
I think it's after next season.
Because I was getting it mixed up with them tearing out the seats last year and then widening them.
Yeah.
Because they've done that.
Which did they so the bleacher seating, they said they like widened them. They just like kind of erased the numbers and just spray painted it over. And it's not even that far over. Like they got rid of
it's incremental.
I know.
Because eventually then you take care of like 3 seats by doing that.
It was like 1 or 2 inches. It wasn't a lot. They didn't move it over very much.
I couldn't tell you honestly.
Because you don't sit in the
That's not what I was going for, but yeah, you're
seats.
right.
Yeah,
Yes, I don't sit in the
You
bleachers.
don't sit in the bleacher seats. It's okay.
It's neither do you, Rico.
You're right. I sit at home.
Yes. Gingerbread Man says the video screen is still running right now. Look at this. Live reports from a block. Like 1 yard per minute. Anyway,
just take a step. Keep watching the video.
yeah. Coach, we just saw this video.
Yeah, no, we didn't mean more.
We because it's just a loop. It's like a 40-second video of it's just nonstop the same exact thing. We were talking about quarterbacks that people don't forget about. Whoa.
You good?
Somebody said on the text line, yeah, bleacher seats got rid of 2 seats per row. It's drastically more room. I think they're being sarcastic, but also, what do you want them to do?
It is more room, but I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either. Quarterbacks, we got a couple. Tanner Lee, John and Cortland says Tanner Lee was supposed to have some hype from Tulane. Did not have the hype.
Hey, shorts and t-shirt Tanner Lee, best quarterback you've ever seen in your life. Guarantee it.
They're saying not sarcastic. There's definitely more room.
Okay.
That's right, Rico.
Okay.
Derek,
it's just the visual is funny because you can still see where the old number is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's not a lot.
Derek Carr from Fresno State, Brady Quinn from Notre Dame. Somebody says RG3 is hilarious. Why do you hate him? And I don't hate him at all.
You just dislike
He's meant for Pac-12 9:30 p.m. kickoff.
No.
That's what it's meant for.
You could put RG3 not in primetime. You could put him at an 11 a.m. kick.
Games that you need
work.
to draw people to for whatever reason. It's an ugly game. It's Stanford versus Cal. RG3's on the call. Why? Because he's going to make some inappropriate joke that only adults get about the trees.
He was on the call for Oregon and Liberty.
My point exactly.
It was great.
And that game was 45-6.
Yeah, well, it should have been better. But
you need to find out
Liberty was bad.
ways. You need to find out ways to keep audience engaged.
I don't disagree with
and
you.
you do that by throwing in Robert Griffin III.
I don't disagree with you, but I love RG3.
He's got a market. Like, don't get me wrong. He's found a way to, and like, it was great when he got the call that his wife was in labor middle of the game last year, and he has to like run across the field. It's great. That was good. There's a market for it. There certainly is
a market. His wife was in labor.
I'm saying there's a market for what RG3 brings.
Right. Superhero.
It's just past like 8 p.m. at night when it's Pac-12 after dark. But now the Pac-12's dead. RG3 is obviously not dead, thankfully.
Big Ten after dark because they have 4 former Pac-12 members.
Not on ESPN though. It's a good thing.
Still do it.
It's a good thing. Okay, Harrison Beck had way too much hype. We got a couple of those.
Somebody said Jamarcus Russell LSU was fantastic.
It was Jamarcus Russell NFL.
Yeah,
that was the bust.
No, I'm saying like he was fantastic at LSU, but yeah, NFL, that you don't forget about him because it was so bad.
I mean, like, you want to talk about NFL busts? I like EJ Manuel. He was a first round pick to the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was the Buffalo Bills.
It was the Buffalo Bills,
and like he wasn't good from Florida State. EJ Manuel was the name people forget about.
Florida State just had a run of bad quarterbacks because Christian Ponder, went to Minnesota.
Yep,
not great.
Jameis Winston was fine.
Hey, first ever 30 touchdowns, 30 picks in a season.
Yeah, I suppose so. We got a lot of Colt Brennan. We got Brad Smith from Mizzou. Tate Martell. Tate Martell's college career is just whack to begin with.
Tathan. People forget.
But I just looked up 2012 college football quarterbacks.
Yeah.
There's a couple of these, the top 5 quarterbacks.
2012 was a great year.
Or so let's just go top 10 quarterbacks.
Okay.
Number 1, this is preseason 2012.
Ooh.
To close out the noon hour.
I love the preseason rankings because they're so different than the end of season.
It's nowhere close. They make them look bad.
Ever.
So the top 10 college football quarterbacks heading into the 2012 season. Number 1, Matt Barkley from USC.
Matt Barkley. Another bust in the NFL.
Yep.
Shout out to the Jets.
And it's better. It's best because on this Bleacher Report article, there are like little blurbs of why they're in the spot and they're ranking their
best prospect.
So here's this one. Tyler Wilson from Arkansas, number 2.
I don't even know who that
Wilson
is.
will be one of the top Heisman contenders in 2012. That's what that says.
Great job.
Number 3 is a name Nebraska fans will know. Landry Jones from Oklahoma.
Ooh.
Went behind Sam Bradford.
Oklahoma, just a good run of quarterbacks.
This one is actually accurate. Geno Smith, West Virginia.
Geno Smith and
it helped with
Tavon Austin.
Yeah, help with Tavon.
Though that like hype video or whatever you want to highlight video, those two, just Tavon Austin has like the best highlight video of anybody ever.
Number 5, a name we've already mentioned on the programs today, Keith Price from Washington. The sentence reads, "This guy is so underrated. With another year of spring practice under his belt, the guy will be lethal in the fall." So there you go, Keith Price. Number 6, a current ESPN commentator, Aaron Murray from Georgia.
Okay.
He backed up for the Kansas City Chiefs for a couple of years. Murray is going to be good in his 3rd season at quarterback for the Dogs.
They were right. He was good. That was it. Just good. Georgia had a nice run of backup NFL quarterbacks. Aside from
yikes.
No, I can't remember his name. He's with the Rams.
Backup quarterbacks.
No,
Stetson Bennett.
He's a starter now.
Stetson Bennett.
No.
Matthew Stafford?
Yes, Matthew Stafford.
There you go.
I say they had a nice run of backup quarterbacks aside from Matthew Stafford, who's a starter.
There you go. We have Casey Patchell from TCU.
I don't know who that is.
Not good. He replaced Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton at TCU was fun.
Andy Dalton with Cincinnati was fun.
Before the Achilles.
Him and AJ Green?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tyler Bray from Tennessee comes in at number 8.
Remember
Tyler Bray's the name people forget about. Number 9.
New head coach Tyler Bray.
Yes.
Oregon State.
You're thinking Trent Bray.
Dang it.
Also, Trent Bray was the linebackers coach in Nebraska.
You're right.
Different guys. James Franklin from Missouri. Quarterback. Franklin scored 36 touchdowns in 2011. The Tigers are jumping into the SEC and will need Franklin to perform at his best in order to have anything remotely approaching a successful season in 2012.
James Franklin,
how about
head coach
this?
of Penn State.
This must not have been a very strong quarterback class because it says expected decent season from Franklin. He's ninth on the list.
That's a decent season.
Gets you ninth.
Top 10.
Number
Decent
10.
season.
Number 10 is Denard Robinson from Michigan, and on the blurb it just says, "We all know about Denard."
Then why is he 10th?
A couple of the other quarterbacks: Taj Boyd from Clemson, Mike Glennon.
Taj Boyd was supposed to be great.
Taj Boyd from Clemson, Mike Glennon from NC State.
Mike Glennon has the longest neck I've ever seen.
EJ Manuel's on this list. Logan Thomas, the converted tight end for Virginia Tech, is on this list. Braxton Miller,
converted wide receiver.
Let's see. Taylor Martinez comes in at 24th. Here's a name from the SEC: Connor Shaw, South Carolina.
That is a name I have not heard.
Nate Scheelhaus is also on this list. That's pretty much it. Teddy Bridgewater. We were discussing
Teddy ball game. Teddy two gloves.
This is the last thing before we get back into 2023's landscape. We were talking about the Charlie Strong days at Louisville during the commercial break, and
People
just
forget.
the Charlie Strong rise with the help of Lamar Jackson at Louisville and Teddy Bridgewater at Louisville got him the job at Texas. Then goes to USF after he gets fired from Texas. Gets fired at USF, and the reason that I remember Charlie Strong was because we saw him on the sideline on Monday's semifinal game. Charlie Strong, that's the guy who Tom Herman replaced.
I love Charlie
at
Strong.
Texas A&M or Texas.
Charlie Strong beat Oklahoma once.
Charlie Strong was supposed to be Texas's next good head coach.
Everybody was supposed to be Texas's next good head coach.
And who knows? It's Steve Sarkisian.
Maybe they're back.
Maybe
they're not.
Let's take a break. When we return, we'll dive back into Nebraska football specifically, and a little bit of Nebraska volleyball news. Is the Taylor Landfair situation is becoming a little more clear as well. So we'll dive into that. We'll be joined by Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska at 1:30. In addition to all of that, and then we'll cross it over with Austin and Strick when we get you ready for On the Block coming up at 1:45. So don't go anywhere. 1 o'clock hour of the happy hour coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C2999464.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog and freezing fog this morning. Then partly sunny skies will be expected for the afternoon. Afternoon high should be around 37. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies. We'll see a low around 21. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies will stick around. Afternoon high should be around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in 1 o'clock hour of the happy hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. You say, why is Nick saying the 1 o'clock hour? Well, it's always the 1 o'clock hour. It is, but yesterday and today, we were in the noon hour.
And tomorrow.
And tomorrow, noon hour. So nonetheless, thanks for hanging on. 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys. The rest of the way here, we're going to have a good and fast 1 o'clock hour here. We do have to, as much as it pains me to say shout out to Caitlin Clark. As much as it pains me to say,
you're not wrong,
Rico.
You're not wrong. She is so good, and I hate it.
She's also gotten into this point where it was okay at the start when like her ascension in the game of women's college basketball, because she didn't necessarily know or like show it.
She didn't want to be the villain. She was just good at basketball.
But now she's fully embraced the villain mindset.
100%.
And that bothers me even more.
A part of me, like, she hears it. She knows that people dislike her, right?
Yes.
But a part of me thinks that she hasn't embraced the villain role to her. To us, she has. But to her, she's just out there having fun. And like yesterday, after she hits the shot. First off, okay, I'm going to sound like Paul George. That's a bad shot, all right? I don't care who you are. That's a bad shot. You do a step, you cross over, step back onto the logo and take a 3 to win the game. That's a bad shot. But she hit it, nothing but net, literally nothing but net. You heard it. It was as clear as day, super crisp. Great shot for her. Bad shot for anyone else. But she does the, I can't hear you to the crowd or whatever.
And then just the palms to the hands, palms to the ceiling.
Dude, she's
what do you
just
want me
out
to
there.
What did you expect from me?
Yeah, she's out there balling, having fun.
Gosh.
And I love watching her play because she's so damn good, but I hate it because it's Iowa. And also because like Nebraska's gonna have to play her. And I don't know who's going to, like, for any team, I don't know who's going to stop her for anyone. It's crazy. She's so good.
It's that old thought of like, you can't stop them, just slow it down. By the way, Nebraska will, the first time that they will see Caitlin Clark this year will be in, frankly, 24 days. Saturday, January 27th, 1 p.m. tip-off at number 4 Iowa. How about this? Tickets for that game, $163.
I'd go.
Really?
As media.
There you go. Then Nebraska on February 11th will be facing off against Iowa at home on Sunday, February 11th. That's a noon tip-off. Tickets are $96 for that one. Now,
I'll see you guys there.
So anyway, here's like back to the point. So in case you missed it last night, Michigan State, who's unranked, Michigan State lost. I think they're somewhere in the double-digit wins, couple losses. They lost to Nebraska. So did Michigan State women's basketball at home back on December 9th, 80-74. Nebraska was able to beat them up in East Lansing. So Michigan State goes on the road to Iowa yesterday. And this is a different Iowa-looking team because they don't have Warnock. They don't have a couple of their other players, that we've been accustomed to them having in the years past.
Cisnano in the paint, who shot like 90% from the floor. That was annoying.
It was so frustrating.
That was annoying
because Nebraska. Anyway,
she just gets the ball. She just turns around and puts it in.
Yeah, and it just,
and you're just like, okay, double her, and then you double her, and then Caitlin Clark is open.
So much.
There's just nothing you could do. With
nothing you could do. And like Caitlin Clark is so good at distributing the basketball, and her vision on the court is next to none, or second to none. But anyway, so Michigan State forces. Was it at the end of regulation or was it overtime?
It was the end of regulation.
It was end of regulation. Yeah. They're tied. And I mean, we're talking like 35 feet away from the bucket. And Caitlin Clark is being guarded as close as you can without fouling.
Like, she's going to get it. That's how she was being guarded. Like, you're face guarding her, and they force it to her.
So they get Caitlin Clark the basketball, and she steps back, not with her opposite foot.
Yeah,
that's what's crazy. She didn't go to her right.
Nope.
She goes to her left. She's standing on the edge. I mean, fully surrounded by the Hawkeye.
She's on the beak.
She's on the beak of the Hawkeye at midcourt, and she throws up a shot, makes it look smooth, and she hits it to win the game at the buzzer.
No backboard, no rim, nothing but net. Like, she works on that shot. I don't know why she works on that shot. That step back half court shot.
Oh my gosh.
Drills it.
It was so frustrating. Just because, like, here's the thing. I think she's also only a junior. Or is she a senior this year?
No, she's a senior this year.
This is her last year?
She was a junior last year because everybody was saying she should go, but with WNBA and NCAA rules for the women's game, you can't until you're a senior.
Good.
I think it's until you play 4 years.
of basketball until you're in college for 4 years. You cannot go to the WNBA.
You want to talk about, so just statistics here. In 15 games this season, Caitlin Clark has over 450 points, over 100 rebounds, over 100 assists, and has over a 90% win percentage.
She's ridiculous.
I mean,
she's
ridiculous. So
ridiculous.
here's we can just do this quickly.
Like, remember the hype for
150.
Sabrina Ionescu coming out of Oregon? Like the hype that she had, like she was like Mrs. Triple Double up in Oregon. Caitlin Clark, she supersedes that.
In the last 25 years, the only other NBA, WNBA, or Division I men's or women's player to put up those types of numbers in any 15-game span is LeBron James.
I almost said a bad word. Of course.
That was close, Rico. That was close. You just about split that. You just about that would have been bad.
Caitlin Clark almost made me dump myself.
Oh no. So I mean, once again, not that I enjoy or we enjoy discussing Iowa women's basketball, but
you have to.
How do you not?
You have to.
How do you not? And Iowa is fourth in the country. I just don't like how she's embraced this villain, and it makes me so mad at Pinnacle Bank Arena because obviously in the media area we don't cheer. We can't cheer. We don't show any emotion. But like, I think that's been the only game where I've struggled was at when Iowa came to Nebraska, either last year or 2 years ago, and she puts up like 30 points every single time Nebraska plays them.
She hasn't lost to Nebraska.
Yeah, but every single time she just feeds into the crowd, and the crowd continues. She keeps on like, she's like, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, and everybody does. This is so infuriating.
And they boo her, and there's nothing you can do.
No, because then what she do? She goes out, she hits one from the logo.
And then you know what pisses me off is after the game they interview her and she's like, "Yeah, no, I just love this place so much.
Yeah,
it's
she's
so
like,
fun to play here." And I'm like, "Stop it!
We're not supposed to like you."
She's so nice,
and she's in a State Farm commercial.
Ridiculous.
Jake from State Farm. Anyway, that's just the little rant on Caitlin Clark that
there's our Caitlin Clark corner.
We didn't expect it. Yeah, she does probably make more in NIL with Iowa than she would in the WNBA.
Yeah,
1,000%.
I'm pretty sure we can look it up. I'm pretty sure she's a senior this year, and she will go and she will be the number 1 overall pick.
She is a senior.
Yeah,
from West Des Moines, Iowa, averaging 31.5 points.
That's why they
seven rebounds and 7.5 assists.
That's why they played. I think they played Northern Iowa in Des Moines, was so that she could play in front of her home crowd.
That's good. I'm happy for her.
Yeah, good for you.
She's shooting 49% from the field. And she probably shoots about 30 times a game.
Easily.
I mean, there are games here. So just looking at the statistics game by game here. And the field goal percentage for every game, 65%, 64%, 62%. 63, 60, 65, 68, 69.
You know she's going to get the ball, and you know she's going to shoot it.
You
cannot stop her.
You can't do anything about it.
It's not like she's
so
super. It's not like she's super athletic and is dunking on people.
Yeah.
Like she's getting layups, she's hitting threes most of the time. She's also got a really nice mid-range shot.
And she passes like she's not a ball hog. She facilitates.
I'm getting upset
so well. Let's take a break. Let's get out of here. When we come back, we'll talk to Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska. Plenty to talk about Husker recruiting, Husker hoops as they get ready for an Indiana game tonight, 8 p.m. tip-off from Pinnacle Bank Arena. So we'll break that all down with Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog and freezing fog this morning. Then partly sunny skies will be expected for the afternoon. Afternoon high should be around 37. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies. We'll see a low around 21. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies will stick around. Afternoon high should be around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Southeast Community College invites you to check out our spaces ahead of your official campus visit. Our virtual campus tours let you see our campuses and learn more about our programs of study. Then you can schedule your individual visit in person or virtually. Virtual tours of our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford, and our learning centers are online at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown returns to Lincoln, January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night SmackDown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C299464.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick and Rico back with you. Notorious BIB says, enough with the Iowa love, guys. You guys are making me sick. Hey, don't worry. We puked in between, actually, during the commercial break.
Yeah, I think it did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was kind of gross.
Look,
we
I
bounced back.
Look, I almost said a bad word. All right, it wasn't love.
It wasn't love.
It wasn't love.
Let's go to the Allo VIP line. VIP line brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. And we're joined by our good friend, who we haven't talked to in what feels like a couple months. Steve Marik of Inside Nebraska, the rival site for the Huskers. Steve, what's up, man? How was the holidays?
Hey, thanks guys for having me. The holidays were great. I think it was like Christmas. We got snowed in here. Weren't able to make it to the grandparents' house, but we did that this past weekend. So busy time of year right now for sure. Trying to get some content stuff up on the site over at Inside Nebraska. But yeah, it's been enjoyable.
Was this the first or second year with the kid?
This is first, so it's her first Christmas and first New Year's. So we had fun with it.
That's good.
That was going to be my question. I was say, how did the first Christmas and New Year's go with the little one?
Yeah, it went well. I mean, Christmas Day was great. The grandparents all got to see her. She had a nice little Christmas dress on. Good stuff. And then for New Year's, I mean, I was in bed by like 10:30. So
wow,
she was in bed by. She usually goes to bed by 7:30 p.m. So early nights in the Marik household, but it works.
Wait. So Steve, are you telling me she's not going to watch Nebraska, Indiana tonight?
She will not. I'm going to try to stay awake for it as well, but I will be there next.
Okay, cool. Well, so let's try to stay awake. Anyway,
she's gonna be falling asleep in the media section.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I don't have to elbow Steve.
Hey, it's an 8:07 tip, guys. It's a late one.
Hey, that is late. I know the feeling, man.
So Steve, let's talk about what are the benefits of an 8 p.m. tip? Because like we've talked about, like we don't have to worry about a late arriving crowd. Like you hope that there shouldn't be a late arriving crowd. And like there's a lot of chances for now eyeballs to be on Nebraska as they're sitting here at 11-2.
Yeah, I think the late tip maybe could provide more of a raucous atmosphere inside PBA. I mean, maybe Pinnacle Bank Arena. A lot of the people coming to the arena are going to be coming from the Haymarket and maybe have a few drinks in them. They know a Big Ten team in Indiana is coming, and it's a huge game for Nebraska. We're going to learn a lot about this team. So I think Husker fans are going to bring it tonight. I think it's going to be a really cool atmosphere, and I think the 8 p.m. tip might help that create even more of a raucous crowd and home court environment for Fred Hoiberg and his team.
Now, Steve, what's the key tonight for Nebraska? Because I look at certainly the defensive side, but I'm curious if Rink Mass is or isn't playing tonight. They're going to need some balanced scoring throughout this whole entire Big Ten season, I guess. What's your key tonight for Nebraska basketball against the Hoosiers?
Yeah, so for me, the key is how is Nebraska going to deal with Indiana's size and physicality? Now, they have a few injury issues of their own. Xavier Johnson, their starting point guard, has missed the last 7 games, and they've had to start a true freshman who is doing what he can, but he's still a 19-year-old true freshman out there playing point. And then Khalil Ware, that 7-foot second-year transfer from Oregon, former 5-star guy. He had COVID and he missed the last game. I'm kind of uncertain on if he's going to play tonight, but I think chances are looking good that he is going to be out there along with Xavier Johnson. So Indiana might get 2 of their starters back to their lineup. But yeah, if you ask me keys to the game, I mean, it's putting up with how are you going to deal with the physicality and the length that Indiana provides. Khalil Ware, 7 feet. And then Malik Renault, he's averaging 16 points per game. He's another former 5-star guy a couple years ago. He's 6'9", 230. And then even at the 2 position, Trey Galloway is super, super athletic at 6'5", 205. And then they have another 5-star in this year's class as a true freshman, Mackenzie Mbako. He is playing really well, and he's around the 6'8", 6'9" range. So this is a big, long Indiana team, and like you mentioned with Rink Mass, you'd love to have him out there, but I don't know if we're going to see it. It's a game time decision, and you would absolutely love to have Rink Mass' body out there just to help defend the paint against these big Hoosiers at 6'10", 250. But if he doesn't get out there, I'm really kind of wondering how Nebraska is going to handle Indiana physically, because without Rink Mask, it's Josiah Alec, and he's just 6'8". So you'd like to see a little bit more size. But Juwan Gary at 6'6", Bryce Williams is going to have to toughen up and show that he can be a tough defender in the paint at 6'7" for a guard. So you ask keys for the game. It's dealing with Indiana's size and physicality and kind of what the game is going to look like inside of the 3-point arc. That's where my eyes are going to be.
Steve, without Rink Mass, excuse me. Gosh, I just had a brain infart there. Without Rink Mass, how much does this team change?
I mean, I think it changes a lot just because he means so much to the team. I mean, Rink is one of the leaders, which is really impressive for a first-year guy out of the transfer portal from Bradley. But he provides an inside scoring option. He provides an outside scoring option. He's just, I think, one of the tougher defenders down low. I mean, I think this would have been a really good test against Khalil Ware if he is out there. I think that would have been a great test for somebody like Rink Mask. But I think it really hurts Nebraska not to have him out there against a team like Indiana just because of what he means. I mean, he means so much offensively and defensively, and it just puts a lot more pressure on the other guys with size that Nebraska does have with Josiah Alec. I mean, Josiah hasn't had the offensive output that Rink has, but he brings energy. He brings his own kind of brand of energy on the defensive end of the court, and Nebraska's going to need all of what Josiah Alec can get tonight. And then Juwan Gary, I mean, Fred Hoiberg said it best, and I can't agree with him more, is, Juwan Gary is going to show up and not back down from anybody. And so I think it's a good thing that Gary he played against South Carolina State, but not a whole lot. And I think that was smart to kind of save his body for this war that the Huskers are going to go on tonight. But yeah, I mean, you obviously want to have Rink Mask out there, but it is a long season, 18 straight games of Big Ten competition. You'd like to have a full roster right now, but I don't know if it's going to happen for Nebraska. But it's a long season. Tonight isn't going to make or break the Husker season, but you obviously want to have him out there. But yeah, without Rink Mask, that kind of leaves a hole left to be filled in Nebraska's lineup here.
We're speaking to Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska. Steve, when you look at Nebraska's program for this season, we obviously know the schedule is what it is, right? They didn't have the toughest non-con slate. And they're sitting here with an 11-2 record. In the grand scheme of it all, how much do we actually know about Nebraska basketball? Do you feel like you have a pretty good read on what this team is, or is it going to be, a couple Big Ten games before we really find out and have a clear idea of what this team is?
Personally, I'm on the trail end of that one. I don't think we know a whole lot right now. I think we need to get some Big Ten games under our belts, just to see how this group of Huskers reacts to the same level of competition as them. Because you are right, Nick. I mean, there were a lot of cupcakes on that early schedule, but I think for this specific team, it was a good thing that needed that to get some air under their wings and some momentum. That hasn't happened a lot in the early seasons of Nebraska basketball. So I think it was ultimately a good thing to get some momentum and work on some things and kind of find some things out about some players. But yeah, you're right. There's no going to practice and kind of practicing against the Indianas, Wisconsins, Purdue's, Iowas, with your scout team guys. It's just not the same. So you need to go out there. You need to play these Big Ten teams and see where you stack up against them, because you're not going to find that stuff out when you're playing like Duquesne and Oregon State and Stony Brook, right, or Florida A&M, all those guys. So, yeah, I mean, tonight is big, but I think it's going to be good for kind of like a learning thing with Husker fans, because, and again, with Fred Hoiberg, I'm sure Fred is going to really relish the opportunity to watch his guys play against Indiana and kind of find out what he truly has. I'm really interested to see, who the go-to guy on this team is. If Rink is not out there, who else steps up? I'm wondering if I'm really anxious to see Bryce Williams and maybe see how he kind of develops once this conference slate starts up here. Is he going to be the guy that that the ball finds when the shot clock is ticking down and somebody needs to go make a move? I mean, Bryce Williams is my pick, but throughout the season, he's had some ups and downs, but I'm wondering if this conference slate picking up maybe changes some things for him, and he really kind of tries to ramp things up, and maybe the coaches see that too, and maybe call some plays for him, more plays for him, and things like that.
We're speaking with Steve Mark of Inside Nebraska. And Steve, you kind of mentioned a go-to guy, and a guy who was selected as an all Big Ten first team member, Keisei Tominaga, has been relatively quiet as the season has gone on, and his family's in town, the Big Ten starting. It's teams that he's, more familiar with playing against, but they're also more familiar with him. What is like not an expected, but how important would it be for Nebraska to get just like a pseudo last year Keisei back?
I mean, that would be amazing. And just for what he brings on the court, if he could return to his form that he was playing with last year and just, drilling threes multiple times per game. If he could just regain what he was playing with last year, that help out the offense so much, because it would just open up so much more for his teammates elsewhere. But you know what, you're right, Rico. I mean, I think, doing what he did last year in the Big Ten, I think a lot of teams had a full off season to try to figure out what to do with him, how to play him, how to get on his nerves, how to get him off his game. And, so far, maybe it's worked. I know he had that sprained ankle against Doane in the exhibition, and, it wasn't a smooth start for him this season, and maybe he's trying to regain his legs. But, it's just one of those things that I've been kind of disappointed in. But, at the end of the day, he's a small guard. He's 6'2", around 180, 85 pounds. He's always going to have that disadvantage, and it's kind of up to him to figure out how to get past that, right? Because he's always going to be guarded by somebody bigger and stronger than him in this league. He just is, and so it's up to him to try to figure out what to do. It's up to the coaching staff to try to figure out ways to get him free, whether that's setting more screens, better screens, more effective screens, things like that, just to try to get some space for him to to work with. So that's kind of where I see with things. But yeah, I mean, getting Casey back to return to his form that he was playing with last year would be incredibly beneficial for this team, and then just kind of open up more things inside if he's dragging that defense out constantly every time down the court.
Steve, switching over to football here, just a couple of quick questions. Julian Fleming, just a little under 20 minutes ago, officially commits to Penn State. So Nebraska either stepped aside, stepped out of the way, moved on, whatever the case may be. Julian Fleming, the Ohio State transfer, on to Penn State, where he's initially from. But now this weekend, Nebraska hosting Isaiah Nayor from Texas, and then also Jamal Banks from Wake Forest. I mean, you have to feel like these are really the two names, and especially Jamal Banks, the one name that really have been the only ones we've heard through the transfer portal. So, I mean, how confident are you that either one or two of these end up being a Husker?
That's a good question. I feel pretty confident that one of them is going to be a Husker. Jamal Banks, he's an interesting guy. He comes from he played at a powerhouse in high school at St. Francis Academy. Just a powerhouse over there that turns out Division I prospects every single season. He's got the size. I mean, they both kind of have the size that Nebraska, I think, is sorely missing, and plus the experience too. Jamal Banks is 6'4", 205 pounds. He's played a lot of football in his career. He really enjoyed a kind of like a breakout 2022 season. He caught 9 touchdown passes, a little under 700 yards receiving. So, I mean, if Nebraska can get somebody like Jamal Banks in the receiver room to kind of be that big body and that experienced guy to help all those younger talented receivers like Malachi Coleman, Jaden Doss, Jalen Lloyd, all those guys. I mean, those guys just need a leader, an old veteran leader up there to show them how to beat college football receivers. And I think Jamal Banks would be a really good one. Isaiah Nayor, he's kind of an interesting story. I remember him from 2021. When he was at Wyoming, he had a great season in 21, a little under 900 yards receiving, 12 touchdown passes. He was an all Mountain West Conference guy. And then, when he hit the portal after that 21 season, I mean, he was a hot name, like a really hot name. I mean, he was committed to Tennessee, I think it was, before flipping to Texas at the last minute, and then had unfortunately in fall camp, he had an ACL injury to his knee. Missed all of the 2022 season, and then just didn't play much. He only played in one game in this past season for Texas. Caught one pass again in the season opener against Rice. He's just a big body at 6'3", 215 pounds, so that's really good. And I'm just kind of wondering, like, what kind of shape he's going to be in right now. I'm sure he's looking for an opportunity right now because he's in a stacked room at Texas. So. I mean, I think the chances are good that Nebraska gets out of this with one of them. If you're asking me for my opinion, I hope it's Jamal Banks, just because I think he provides literally everything that Nebraska is looking for in a receiver. He's big, he's got experience, and the Huskers just need someone like Jamal Banks in there. And then also Dante Dowdell, the running back from Oregon, he is also scheduled to visit this weekend too, and that's another big one in a position of need for the Huskers. So a lot of stuff going on in the transfer community with Nebraska in this weekend.
This is a guy, last one before we let you go, Steve. This is a guy that I know you're pretty high on, and you wrote an article about him a couple of days ago. Donovan Jones from Omaha North is someone I know you're pretty high on through just our texts back and forth and stuff. What can you tell Nebraska fans about a guy that really wasn't discussed in the recruiting class really for the state of Nebraska, because everybody was so, I guess, worried about Daniel Kalen and worried about maybe some 2025 guys like Christian Jones from Westside. What can you tell Husker fans about Donovan Jones, the defensive back from Omaha North?
Loads of potential. Loads of untapped potential. I mean, so he had a pretty good junior season over at Omaha North, starting at safety. Then the junior season ended, and he was wondering what to do. He only had a couple offers, not Power 5 offers, not FBF offers, but he attended a camp in June, I think it was a Husker camp. he ran a 40 and it was around the 4.4 range all of a sudden, and the coaches were turning their heads like, who the heck is this guy, right? So they make him run it again, and he runs a 4.4 again. And he's 6'1", he's pushing 6'2", he's almost 190 pounds. This kid is just going to keep getting better. And then he was offered, he committed the next day. It was a good story. He was almost going to go to Wyoming because Craig Bull was at the camp that he ran the 4.4 in, and offered him on the spot on Tom Osborne Field. So it was a pretty cool scene, but it was a even better scene his senior season at Omaha North. He just absolutely had a breakout year. I mean, he was everywhere on defense for Omaha North. And what I really like about Donovan Jones is just the versatility and production that he brings. So he can play safety. He's a candidate, in my eyes, at least, to play that hybrid rover role that Isaac Gifford starred in this past season. But again, if you kind of close your eyes and imagine like what Donovan Jones could potentially turn into, in a season or two of weightlifting and nutrition and getting bigger, badder, more physical, all that good stuff, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Donovan Jones turns into like a 220, 225 pound inside linebacker, and he's flying all over the place and shooting gaps and in this Tony White defense. So I just think that, there's a lot of potential with Donovan Jones. He's a guy who is downhill. He's very comfortable in the tackle box to help with run support. He can hold his own in pass coverage. He's just, I don't know, you can do a lot of things with somebody like Donovan Jones, and he's somebody who flew way under the radar that I don't think a lot of people are talking about, and that's fine. But Donovan Jones is absolutely one to keep an eye on for me, just because of what he can provide in the back end of a defense. He can play safety, rover, and then, like I said, down the road, maybe just depending on how his body develops over time, inside linebacker.
All right, Steve. Hey, good stuff as always, my man. Good to talk to you after a couple of weeks off. We will see you tonight at PBA. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
There he is, Steve Marik, inside Nebraska. Good stuff as always from him on Husker Hoops and Husker Football. Big fan of Donovan Jones is he. Let's go ahead and take a break. It's the last week of the NFL regular season. And what's that mean, Rico? Contract incentives. Let's talk about them as we get you ready for On the Block with Stricken Austin coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And to show our appreciation, Koppel is offering some huge holiday discounts from now until January 2nd. On select new Chevrolet vehicles, we are offering $8,000 off MSRP or 1.9% financing. Yes, you heard right. That's $8,000 off or 1.9% financing on select new Chevrolets. We also have some huge discounts on our new GMC inventory, so stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. Includes finance, trade, and Costco bonus with roof credit. Stock number C2 99464.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. We appreciate their bravery. Let us honor those who've lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those serving today. From Electrical Enterprises in Roca, for your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. Wishing you and yours a happy and healthy new year.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, some areas of patchy fog and freezing fog this morning. Then partly sunny skies will be expected for the afternoon. Afternoon high should be around 37. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies. We'll see a low around 21. And tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies will stick around. Afternoon high should be around 35. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Southeast Community College invites you to check out our spaces ahead of your official campus visit. Our virtual campus tours let you see our campuses and learn more about our programs of study. Then you can schedule your individual visit in person or virtually. Virtual tours of our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, or Milford, and our learning centers are online at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
This is Jeff Essing, owner of Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping and host of Fitness Fanatics. Over the years, we've helped countless people gain strength, lose fat, build confidence, and change their life. And it all starts with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. Now is the best time to sign up with the new year right around the corner. You can enroll for the January 10-Week Challenge for only $299. That's 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. Head to fxblincoln.com for more information on how to enroll. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
When I gave you the cookie, I heard very clearly, I don't think about you, Schmidt.
Why would I think about you?
Because we're friends. We're not animals.
We're men. The only time a man is allowed to think about another man is when that man is Jay Cutler.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the happy hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. It's going to be a quick crossover today as we get you ready for On the Block with Strick and Austin. Gentlemen, how do we do?
We do. How you do?
I do good.
Thank you, Strick.
But I don't sound as bad as
you
yesterday.
actually have a voice.
And I'm getting some more tea for the next show.
Shout out to the Mill.
Shout out to the Mill.
Shout out to the Mill Coffee and Tea. Come on down, 1040 O Street. Grab yourself a cup of Joe and listen to us on the radio. Anyway, 402-464-5685. Rico's still here as well. Hi, Rico.
Hi. I'm just fixing the cameras.
Nonetheless, guys, last week of NFL means contract incentives. Let's talk about a couple of them. We'll probably revisit this at the end of the week as well. But time flies when you're having fun. So what's the point?
Can you pull that down so we can see Nick?
Hey,
there we go.
There it is, Austin.
There he is.
That's what Rico's doing.
There it is. He's doing it.
Oh, the point?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Tricky point.
Shocker.
Don't do that.
Contract incentives. We start with Baker Mayfield of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Give it to him.
Where else would you start?
He will receive a $300,000 incentive per category. Category for a maximum of $1.5 million in bonuses. His current ranks are as follow. Once again, he needs to rank in the top 10 in these categories.
Okay.
Passer rating, he is currently number 9.
And what, Baker?
He needs to be, top 10 in the NFL or top 5 in the conference.
Okay.
So his passer rating, he's at 9th in the NFL. Cha-ching.
Got it.
He's tied for 8th in passing touchdowns. Cha-ching. He is just outside in passing yards. He's at number 12 in passing yards.
How many yards
this
back?
week?
Do not have the ranks of how many yards. I could probably find out really quickly, though.
I was just saying,
And then are the guys ahead of him playing?
Yeah, that was going to be my thing. It's
so-
who's not
okay,
playing.
hold
You're
on.
right.
Hold
That's
on,
what we
I
have to
gotta-
figure out
I
here.
gotta look up to I gotta go to my my
Trusty.
my account. Hold on. Okay. So here we are. Baker Mayfield. It does not list the guys he's in front of. So we just have to find that out.
Or behind.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
He in completion percentage, he is on the outside looking in, but on yards per attempt, he is in. So we're talking at least, if the season ended today, $900,000 in bonuses.
NFL.com has him 8.
Yeah, passing yards.
Yes, in passing yards.
Yeah,
Maybe.
he's 8th.
Ooh, cha-ching.
Hold on.
Cha-ching.
Oh, timeout. Sorry. Okay, so this is stupid. The tweets are updated. The link is not updated.
Aha.
That's stupid. Okay. So okay, let's redo this.
Okay, let's see.
QBR 9th.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. Passing touchdowns tied for 4th. Cha-ching.
2 for 2.
Passing yards 8th. Cha-ching.
The money.
Completion percentage, he's 18th.
Show me the money.
So he's on the outside looking in. Probably not going to get that one.
He's not getting that one.
No.
Yards per attempt, he is 9th. Cha-ching.
Okay.
1.2 million if the season ended today for Baker Mayfield in simply just contract incentive bonuses. We move to Minnesota.
So do you think they play him and all they do is pass? And
Maybe.
I don't. Well, no,
I don't
No,
know.
they do is run. They don't want to pay him.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't want to pay him. But
But he's
nonetheless,
yeah, whatever.
we
Just run the ball.
So moving on to Minnesota, Alexander Madison. For $250,000, he needs 74 rushing yards against the Lions in Week 18. Probably going to get that one.
Unless they don't play him.
Unless they don't
That's
play
the
him.
thing is, some of these teams
But
don't
it's
want to pay out the
Minnesota.
bonuses.
It's Minnesota. They
Exactly.
got
You want to
nothing going
sign.
on.
You want to sign some free agents. Save your money.
Austin Eckler needs 1,125 yards from scrimmage for $100,000. He is currently at 1,015. So he needs, let's see, quick math, 110 scrimmage yards.
I thought you were saying
against.
They're throwing the ball.
He's got that far to go.
No, that's against the Chiefs.
NFL records.
They're throwing the ball like crazy. They're not gonna, You know, don't think they don't do that stuff.
I
Nick.
know, but we've also known stories of where they've helped out guys. Where
I think
coaches have helped out guys and been like, we're gonna put. I think Antonio Brown had it happen to him with the Bucks, and Bruce Arians was like, "Yeah, go ahead and go back on in there. We're gonna get you this."
We saw that with Drew Holiday a few years ago, where he was in for the tip, committed a foul,
and then left.
It walked out.
He needed to
back to street clothes.
Yeah, he needed so many
So
starts.
I wonder how much of that depends on how established you are and the relationship you have with the coach. So, like, do they play favorites in that regard?
100%.
Excuse me,
And then
maybe.
you've also seen it with quarterbacks where they pull, they'll have them pass a few times or whatever at a certain part of a game, and then they pull them. And it's like, well, what's going on right now?
They just got to appear.
Yeah, and to keep them away from getting it, where they're just like, no, you're not getting this.
Yeah.
Does every coach, Strick, in the pros have their favorites on a team? Every
I believe
coach?
so.
Every coach?
I won't say every coach.
Some are
but
better at hiding it, maybe?
I would say that part too. But I do believe that, coaches do have certain guys. Now, there are also, like, for example, when Avery Johnson was the coach of the Mavericks, right? The upper management and the GM, Donnie Nelson and Mark, they were doing a lot of stuff outside of the vision of what I think the friction of it was this. Avery Johnson was building the team not by scheme, but by scale, like what he could work with.
Right.
Right. So at the time, Devin Harris was there.
Next guy.
They were working with guys trying to make sure that the team was able to work along with the team that they had. But then you bring in Jason Kidd, a guy that needs to handle the ball, where that team, Dirk and Devin or whoever could go. Where now you got to go to Jason Kidd. You have to dang near in the middle of the season change your whole system of how you're doing things because that's where Jason benefits, right? Yes, he worked on his jumper, but the fact that he benefits, it made Avery mad, pissed him off. So because they weren't communicating what they were trying to do and who they were going to bring, they just did it. And then it was just like, here, go do your thing.
Make it work.
He liked Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson liked Devin Harris. He was grooming Devin to really ascend to another level. And then you bring in Jason Kidd, and now you got to shift that. So sometimes it works like that, where there's a disconnect between the upper management, staff, and that cost Avery his job because he verbally was going at people in the media. He was talking to them about how he didn't like it. And so there's the issue.
Moving on, Devin Singletary has already gotten a payday. He cleared 1,000 total yards for 125,000. However, he can win. He can make
lottery.
He can make 250K this week if he has a 55% snap share. He's currently at 54%. And he can, if he has 84 total yards, he can make another 125K. So 125K for each of those.
Who's he play for?
Houston.
Oh no, he's gonna play because they're still fighting for a play.
I think they're fighting for a spot.
Well, I mean, they're giving up the fight now.
There you go.
I
Thank
mean,
you. There
Indy's
it is.
got it. I don't know why they bothered to show up on Saturday.
Why are you the way you are?
Moving on, Joe Mixon for Cincinnati. Mixon needs about 167 yards for a $250,000 signing bonus. He needs about 300 yards from scrimmage for another $250,000 signing bonus. He already got a $250,000 signing bonus because he surpassed 10 touchdowns.
There you go.
This season.
So he needs 150 rushing and 150 receiving.
However, if he gets 2 touchdowns this weekend as well, he gets another 100K.
Dang.
1 rushing, 1 receiving.
There you go.
Just hit it all.
Do it.
Let's see. DeAndre Hopkins needs 7 more receptions for a $250,000 signing bonus. He needs
Not gonna get there.
He needs 39 yards for a $250,000 signing bonus.
You know what I'm doing? You know what I do if I'm DeAndre Hopkins?
What's that?
I'm in the quarterback's ear like, hey,
there you
listen,
go.
my boy.
Hey, Will.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop you this 25 hot or this 50 hot. Take care of your boy now. You know, I'm in his ear like,
rookie.
Let's go.
Here's the ropes.
It's
Learn
one,
it.
hey, it's one of those where it's dude, I'm DeAndre Hopkins. Just throw it up.
No, I'm
not sure he's
willing to
there.
part with him some money just to get some money. Let's
Now,
team up and be a partner.
If he gets 2 touchdowns, he'll get 250K. If he gets 4 touchdowns, which aren't happening, he would get $500,000.
Who are the Titans playing?
Titans have the Jags.
The Jags.
So you want this to happen.
I'm rooting for it.
So Hopkins,
I need it.
So how about this? Hopkins eyes 7 catches for 39 yards and 2 or 4 touchdowns. against Jacksonville this week.
He just has to have that Travis Kelce game from a couple years ago.
I mean, you're talking
red zone.
Yeah.
If he gets here's the deal. If he gets 7 catches for 39 yards, he gets $500K. That's insane to think about. Insane.
Can you imagine, like, when you look at these numbers, can you imagine like all of these things happening in one? Like if he gets 7 catches,
drops the next day.
7 catches, 50 yards, 4 touchdowns, and it's just like, oh, cool.
Here's my deal.
Cool
Here's my deal.
meal plus.
I'm up all night refreshing my mobile banking app.
I'm like,
waiting for it to drop.
When's it?
Come on. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m.
They said they're gonna give you a physical check.
It's Monday.
Yeah,
Next business day.
come
What
on.
are we doing?
Yeah. It's not 3 to 4 business days here.
We're not in the playoffs. Give me my money.
Odell Beckham Jr. needs 5 catches for a $500,000 signing bonus. It's signing bonus, incentive bonus.
These incentives are wild.
Yeah. Dalton Schultz, tight end for the Houston Texans, needs 6 catches for $250K, and he needs 107 yards for a $250,000 signing bonus or contract incentive. Some defensive players really quickly here. Bud Dupree and Calais Campbell. Campbell needs 2 sacks on Sunday for a $500,000 signing bonus. Bud Dupree needs 1.5 sacks on Sunday.
I love the half.
For a $1
Push it,
million
Rico, push.
for a $1
You can do that.
million signing bonus.
He gonna get 2.
Incentive bonus.
So how about that?
We should do picks for signing, but for
We should.
bonuses.
Incentives.
Who gets it?
Arden Key needs 2 sacks for a $500,000 incentive. He needs 3 for a $750,000 incentive bonus.
You think he isn't lining up with his?
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine these in like basketball? Like instead of like points or like rebounds, it's just like, all right, you need 4 more dunks to get $100,000.
I mean, honestly, look, we got 2 more to get to. Keyshawn Nixon needs 1 interception for a $250,000 check. And they're playing. Green Bay is facing off against the Chicago Bears.
That's going to lead to a lot of jumping routes.
Yeah. Pass it, or last but not least, Jadeveon Clowney from the Baltimore Ravens needs a half of a sack to get a $750,000 contract incentive.
Is he important enough to sit?
That's what I'm saying. They've locked in the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
They play Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a half of a sack.
You give him 1 quarter
for a $750,000 incentive.
You give him 1 quarter.
Okay. I like you, GM.
You give him 1 quarter.
Coach, Coach Rico.
I would like, you got 1 quarter.
Elsewhere in the AFC North, TJ Watt tied for the league lead in sacks with 17. Who's tied with him?
Oh.
Is it one of the Bosa's?
It is not one of the Bosa's.
What division?
Same division
as the Steelers. So I have to think about who's in that division.
Is it
Steelers, Cardinals?
No.
Who's in their division?
Cincy.
Ravens. Oh, is it Browns?
It is not Myles Garrett.
Oh, okay.
He's up there, but not tied.
It's got to be somebody. It's going to be somebody from.
It's going to be
somebody from the Ravens.
Is it Patrick? Not Patrick Quinn.
It's not Patrick Quinn.
It's somebody from the Ravens, isn't it?
It is not.
It's a Cincy boy.
It's Cincy. Trey Hendrickson.
Wow.
Tied with TJ Watt. 17 sacks apiece this year.
How about that? Cubsker got it right on the text line. Nice job, Cubsker. All right, we got about a minute left in the show here, guys. What's coming up on your guys' program?
Should be a good one. We'll talk some Husker hoops coming up next year.
Yeah.
Just how important is ranked
Who's
mass
your
in the matchup tonight? Right. Some of those key matchups. Also, this Nebraska game was the game of the night. NIT E by NIT Stu. It can mean a lot for both of these teams. I will talk to Evan Bland at 2:30.
Nice.
Is there a way to fix bowl season? Does it need fixing? A couple proposals being floated out there to some college decision makers. We'll get into that. And then a lot of NFL headlines we want to get to.
All right, good stuff.
Does
Coming up.
Nebraska bring their inflatable child?
Yes, the inflatable child is at the Husker games.
They better do putt for a Porsche tonight.
You going out there?
I am. Are you? I know
No,
you
no.
are. Yes, you are.
I'm not out there.
Are you serious?
I'm not out there tonight.
Whoa! All right, we're out of here. On the block coming up next. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Adios.
This This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Today's agenda includes office meetings this morning, followed by a client lunch, then back to the office for another meeting, and ending the day with a presentation at a client's office. When you are on the go, you need an office phone that goes with you. At Hamilton, our business phone systems make it easy to sync your office phone features to your cell phone for quick and seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you need better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?